Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Okay, now we're going to have this little thing on the bottom of the page, but not much I can do about that one. So we just scoot it down here a little bit lower. Let me double check to make sure, see if I get Eva, see if Eva showed up yet. And Christine, not seeing either one of them today. Okay. All right, well, we'll just have to hold off and see. Okay. Anyway, the strength meter right now is basically showing New Zealand dollar is the strongest. The Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar are weak. US dollar is still weak pretty much across the board. So we'll be trading, if we have any US pairs, we'll be trading against the US dollar for right now. So the strength of the other pair. Take a look at our news for the day. Tuesday, May 18th. I'm not seeing any red folders to speak of, so that's good. And let's go to the charts. So sharing, share. See if I can get this one up here. There we go. Let's see what kind of alerts we have here. We're looking at the, let's take a look at the British pairs, British Swiss, Euro US, nothing on that. Well, let's see what the British Swiss may have here on a 5-minute. And we have a, I'm going to try and do a little bit of cryptos today if they pop up there. This seems to be a good time, usually during the day, for the cryptos to make some moves. It's a little early for the index, other than the German 30. Sometimes that one works pretty well too. But right now, with the 5-minute, on the 5-minute chart, you have an up arrow. And we have a little zone right here, just right in the way, only 2 pips away, so there's no trade with that. Take a look at anything with the, take a look at the German 30. Right now we're just sort of scouting around, waiting for an alert to pop up or some. The arrow alerts will basically tell us that, hey, there's something going on here, take a look at it, but that doesn't mean it's a tradable trade when they pop up. And we're looking at this. We had a down arrow. And it had, this was on the German 30. It had, it's $55 away. That's already coming close to our target zone. And we'll stay away from that for right now. Let's take a look. We'll put this on up to keep an eye on it. In fact, let me get some of these off here so I don't bog down my computer. Let's see, Ethereum. I took an Ethereum last night while we were, before I went to bed. That one worked out pretty well. And let's see, here's a Bitcoin, here's the British pounds, the euros. There's a 5-minute euro that popped up. Let's take a look at that one. Yen CAD. And we're going to, I'm going to put my moving averages up here. And it's, we can see that right now we have some consolidation right now. And we have a, the green is all the way down, it's coming back up. There's a whole lot of consolidation going on. We'll pass on that until it gets out of this consolidation range. We had a nice little move down, came back up, came back, retested it, right? You have a double bottom right here. And now it's starting to come back. We're going to draw some Fibonacci's. So I'll start from up here. This was the main move to here. And we had, I'm going to mark the 60, 50, 38 for this move. Here's the 61. There's a 50. There's a 38. Mark my top 25 and 25 and bottom 25%. Put an insert, go to my shapes. And this is the top 25% of the move. Mark that. Mark the bottom 25%. And this could be from over here all the way up to this. And we're going to note that it broke out of the 25%, coming back down. Now it's forming a little bit of a trend line over here from the bottom. Mark that trend line. And now we're going to be looking to see where we can, how far up this thing came up out of the demand zone, pulled back up, went all the way up to 50% retracement, came back down, retested this zone. And now the question is it going to go deeper, or is it going to come back out and start coming back out up to start working its way up to the top? So from this, I'm going to take this Fibonacci off. Delete that one. And then we're going to start looking for the range from the bottom to the top here with the pullback. And I'll be looking for the pullback to the 61%. The down arrow, I like to see, well, I just see a little bit more commitment that it's going to turn around and come back, because we have another downtrend up here. Here's an anchor, here's a hit, here's to be another hit. So we have a downtrend. I'm just going to take it from this one. There's our wedge. I'm going to see if it can start working its way back up to break up to the top of this. Right now it's consolidated inside this little area right in here. It's trying to make another little push to the downside. We'll see if it does. But I'm going to be paying attention to at this point, I'm going to be paying attention to the 60 to 70, 61 to 76% range. And just see if Eva showed up yet here. Eva and Christine. Okay. And so right now we're looking with this, I'm looking to see where this bottom trend line is going to hold. I'll come to a 1 minute chart and see where we can scoot this up a little bit, make this thing big. We did get a little bit of close below, but it was rejected right off of this arrow alert box. This is basically an arrow alert. This is a green box. The reason why it's different colors because it's covering with the blue zone that I drew. Moving averages are not quite in the right direction yet, though. On this, even on the 1 minute right now, they're a little bit out of place to go to the long side. And here is our 200 moving average. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. I'm just going to come over here to the indicators. And oh, wait till I get fresh one here. Right now, there's no trade here. Moving averages are going the wrong direction to go long, and I'm looking at this thing to bounce to go to the upside. So we're going to pass on anything that we're seeing here. We're not going to try and force any trades. It's still fighting a little bit right around this 23% for this blue box area that I drew. So we're going to just put this one on hold for a little bit and go and check for something else. Let's see. Questions. Let me see if we have any questions. IOTA USD alert. I'm not sure what IOTA is, so I can't help you out there, Justin.
It's a crypto. I was just taking a peek at it. It's a pretty tight area to play in, the between the spread and where the resistance is. I'm not sure if it's a too great of a trade anyway. I've been, just so you know, Al, I've answered a couple questions for you here.
Oh, thank you, CB. I appreciate that.
Yep.
I'll put this out. Every time I pull that box up to look at the question answer box, you guys just get a big old blotch on my screen. So let's see, nothing there. How about here? No, 15 minutes there. A little slow on the news time here today. And let's see, let's check the heat map and see if we can find something. If I go to, let's see, I don't want to do that. All right, now you should be seeing the our heat map here. Is that correct? It looks like you should be seeing it.
Correct.
Should be able to, good, I can split. Right now, the British pound is strong. The New Zealand. This one on the 5-minute chart, these could flip around pretty quickly. These would be showing a lot of your retracements. So I'm primarily focused on the 30 and the 15. I have New Zealand and British are strong. CAD is weak. CAD and US are weak. British Euro and New Zealand are strong on the 30-minute. The CAD and US and the yen are weak. So let's take a look at some CAD trades and CAD pairs and see.
Take a look at Euro CAD. It's a double arrow. We're not. Yeah, it would be a counter trend actually. It's funny. It's take a look at it. It's not a
nice
valid bag entry actually.
Bounce. We did have a bag entry. Well, not quite here. Bounce arrow. It didn't quite tag it. Well, this one tagged it and then took off.
This was March. It's counter trend though.
Oh, it's counter trend. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's pull up our moving averages on this one, and let's take a look at this one. And open it up, and you can see that right now we have green, yellow, blue, and orange. That's all in the right direction. It did cross over the 200 moving average, which is a good thing. Nice little move up, little retracement there. This could be, and let's see, we have the euro strong to the CAD. We did say the CAD was weak. This is a nice little Fibonacci retracement here. And let's see let's draw Fibonacci's on this. I'm gonna take it from up here, take it on down. I'm gonna mark my 30, 50, 60. It already crossed the 61, heading up to the 76. This is our upper 25% zone. So I'm going to take this from over here to this is the upper 25%. Search, come over shapes, look at the bottom 25%. Take it from the new day break on over. Take it to the new day. This is our range that we're playing in today. And these are our 3 main price points that we're looking at on the down move. Mark that one. Mark that one. Mark this one. Just a little bit. And we had a nice push up, pulled out of the 20% range, pulled up all the way up. This thing shot all the way up to the 76. So this thing could be a little bit of the steam may be out of this one a little bit, but we'll see what happens here. That was a nice little move over the overnight move. You can see where it broke out of the money zone range, but here's the new day. Here's the high, hit the money zone, which was right here. This is almost like one of those overnight moves here. Hit the money zone, broke out, coming back up. This would have been the entry. And that's 40 pip move. That was a nice little overnight move. But right now we're coming on up into this top 25%. I don't know if we could get enough room to the 76 or not. There's 14 pips to the upside. Too bad it's too all the way out there like that. Let me pull this one down to the top here. And we can be looking at, right now I'm looking at primarily this range for it to pull back into the zone. It may have already done that. Let's see. Here's the 76. Here's our new other zone that we're looking at right in here, 76. I'm going to put it right about to this one. The ranges between these Fibonacci levels are 10 pips. That's pretty good. That's a nice little range on that. Let's go down to a lower time frame. We'll go to the 5-minute. See it pulled back right to the, where this would have been like the 23% line of this up move. Right now it's kind of stuck. Right now it's kind of forming its own little wedge up here at the top. I think we'll have to pass on that. I just don't, I think it's just too close. It's only 5 pips before it would hit the target, and we already have a spread. Let's see where our spread is on this. We'll keep an eye on this one. But on the Euro CAD, the spread on this is 1.6. We only have about 3 pips to the target zone, just too close to the target. I like to see a little bit deeper pullback before I would try to take this one up. It is in an uptrend. It did cross over all the moving averages. And let me see if I can make this one a little bit darker. Indexes. Thicken that one up a little bit. So we see a little bit better. Well, I'm just going to hold off on that one as well. Again, there's no point to try to force trades. Let's see what the Euro US is looking like. This one looked like pretty much the same thing. It's already hitting up into this near the target zone. Only 3 pips. That's not tradable. I'll take that one off. And let's see anything else. Let's see. Let's go back and take a look at our British 30 or German 30. I'm going to see if I can make this line a little bit darker here. I'm just going to thicken this one up since that's one of our main bounce points. Go to indicator, come over to moving average, edit, make this one a little bit thicker. So we can see a little bit better. And then I'm going to change my, reload my template. So I'm going to save my template. Okay. And I'm going to save it as.
I think Ava might be here now. I'll just.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me go and check and see if I can bring her in here. Yep, there she is. Let's bring her on over. She's trying to hide from me today. And that should be.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning there, Miss Eva.
Sorry, I was having problems with my internet. I telegrammed you, but you didn't see it, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Well, thanks for trying.
I did. Thanks for taking over.
I have no doubt CB was filling in for you.
Yeah, that's good. I get his answers. Thank you.
Well, I knew if you weren't here, you had good reasons for it. So
yeah.
But thanks for trying. I should have checked my phone when I didn't see it. I probably should have just already know. Well, I already assumed that there was something going on for you.
Yeah.
And let's see. So where are we at here? Right now we're still nowhere. I just updated my updated my template, make this one a little bit thicker. So my green one's a little bit thicker, just so everybody can see that a little better, myself included. So with the German 30, I'd like to, again, like we start drawing these Fibonacci zones. I like starting with a higher time frame to see where the major move up or down was. Right now, I'm not seeing anything. Yesterday was kind of a very narrow day compared to what this was on last week. Looks like the German 30s, it's making some new highs from a couple of weeks ago. But I think it's going to be running out. I'm looking that it's going to start running out of steam here a little bit. But this was a nice strong move up. And I would say right now the playground that we're looking in, I'm going to go with a higher time frame here to see where the highest pivots and lowest. This is the lowest significant point recently within the last since, well, this month pretty much. It's made a new high yesterday. So there is, and we see this is a nice little wick. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to draw the Fibonacci line, my major line from this point up to here. This is the new, I'm looking to see where the two extremes are to see where it's going to be playing in between those extremes as it goes sideways. Now that's why I usually try to find those significant areas. This could be a possibility, but this is a rally-based rally. I would expect it to come back down and retest this. We could use this one right here, which would be on a lower time frame than the 4 hour. Let's see what it looks like on the daily, on the 1 hour. This would be back on the 13th. This was back last week. So this is making new highs during this week. It's making new highs. I like this point. This was a rally based a little bit, came back, retested this area. I kind of like this area right in here. I can make my mark here. I kind of like this zone as that for that lower 25% range. It kind of, you can see where this top of this screen zone is right at the line. I like that part. So we're going to, for this German 30, we're going to, we don't know where the high is going to end because now we did get a close below. So right now it pulled back the top 25% from here to here. This is the upper 25%. It did go and break that. We are getting the moving averages are starting to curl over. Now remember, I'm on a 1 hour chart right now, but I'm going to mark this up because this is going to be my focus chart. And again, like I said, I'm trying to find the higher time frame where it's ranging and going sideways. So right now, this is where that's the upper 25% right here. Over here, insert shape. I'm trying to find my lower 25%. It's going to be right in this area right here, pretty much right where the green arrow zone is. I can move down to, now we mark the 30, 50, 61. Mark that one. These are the areas I'm going to be looking for as targets on this as it pulls back down. So the targets are now established. I can take redraw my Fibonacci on the lower time frame on my objects. Here's my fib line. I'm going to delete that. I'll keep my lines. Now I'm going to go to my 15-minute chart and see where it pulled out of the 25% zone. So right now we're going to go to the downside. All our moving averages are aligning up very nicely. We do have, this one is a little slow. We have the 5, the 13. Here's the 62, but then the arrow moving average is just now coming up to cross that. So this is coming to the downside. It's coming into this first green line. Once I get a close below here, now we have a bounce. We're probably going to get a bounce off of this moving average right in here. But this could give us some room to the downside. So I'm going to draw the Fibonacci from here to here and see where the retracement is. I'm looking for a pullback. We had a little bit of a pullback right in this area. Let's see how deep that was. Usually the first pullback oftentimes is the strongest. This one isn't quite that strong yet, but it came back up. It came right up to the 23. So right now the 23 and 38 have held. Draw another little zone up here. So here's the 23. So from this down move, now I'm looking at this little area where the now it's kind of black because of the way things are shaded. So right now it pulled back. Now I'm going to, since we already had a little bit of a pullback and now it's starting to come down into this area. If we can get a close below, if it closes in here or get a bounce, then I'm going to expect a nice pullback off of the bounce off of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my fib line. We'll follow this one down and see where, we'll just see where it bounces. And then I'm going to be looking for the pullback to be the 23,250. I'm going to move this one, this spot down. This is just projection. There's nothing, it's not confirmed yet. But here's my zone. So once this thing pulls down, I'm going to see it close below this green line. This was established on the up move. Going to close below the green line, pull back to somewhere between my 23 and 50, and somewhere, hopefully it'll go deep enough to where it may wick up into the 38.2. If it does, then I'm going to take a shot at going short. And I should have enough room to the, once it gets closer, this would be my main target that I would like to see. We do have this is in the way, this 200 is in the way. But that would be a nice little move to the downside. And again, you're only going for a few dollars worth of profit on this one. But we'll keep an eye on it. See if it bounces, see if we get the bounce off of either the green zone or the moving average. I'm going to suspect moving average. We have a little bit of a level on a level here. So the first level oftentimes gets broken. The second one oftentimes holds. You see this level is right here at this next fib line. So it's going. So you got a little bit of a barrier here, but we should get a bounce and maybe another retry to try and get another little drop on the pullback if it stays stronger. Again, we'll have to wait. It's not ready yet, but this is we're planning the trade is what we're doing. And so we will wait and see where, I'll put this one off into the back burner for right now.
Actually, Al, can I ask a question?
Sure.
How do these guys access the calculator? Was it in Auvoria Prime? I think it was available at some point, was it?
There was a point where it was available, but even I was having problems finding. I've got to try and see about it again. If right now, if anybody wants the calculator, send me an email at trademasters@gmail.com. Just tell them you're looking for the PIP calculator, and I'll just send a copy of it to you.
Okay, so I'm going to put the email address, and it's spelled correctly, guys.
Yeah.
You're gonna think I spelled trade wrong. It's not wrong. It has an I in it. So just if you want, this is in answer to Aman's question about how to figure out the pips and lot sizes and this and that. This is the calculator, Aman. Please email Al at this email address that I just put into the chat, and he will respond at that point and he'll send it to you.
Yeah. Eve and I were talking about this, and we're going to see if we can work out the values for the calculator for some of these crypto pairs. I think Eva was working on the other day.
I've worked out 4 of them so far.
Yeah, so I will try and get those included. We'll do an update with the calculator. We'll get Brian in here, and we'll see if we'll get the update. So you have some of the crypto pairs in there to figure out your calculations on it. I'm still working on that myself. Right now, it pretty much boils down to that for every dollar move on the, I know like on the cryptos, for every dollar move on the cryptos like Bitcoin or Ethereum, a 0.1 is about a $1 move for a $1 risk is about what it amounts to. Is that right?
Well, they're all different now, so you can't really say that. They're all different.
Okay.
XRP 1 cent move is like $10. So you can't, don't generalize because they're all different.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we do have a setup for the Forex pairs and a couple of the indexes we have a setup for, and gold for those of you who like to trade gold. Now you see where on the German 30, just to come back to this a little bit, you see where the price came back down a little bit lower. It's still coming, it still hasn't crossed the green line yet. But as it moves, as the price moves down, then I'm going to have to adjust my target zones to accommodate for the difference in the area of the Fibonacci retracement that we're looking at. So I said we're looking at pretty much the 23% retracement, whatever the down move is, 23%. Have it stay within that area pretty much. But this is the pullback zone I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to pull back into here, and then give me another shot to maybe retest this, the target zone, which would be the green line or below. And so we're still waiting. Right now, my projection is it's going to come back down, retest our moving average right about into this area. This is a projection. This is not in stone yet, so we're just waiting to see. But right now, it hasn't closed below. It hasn't even is tagging this zone. And we could get a pullback off of that, but that doesn't mean it's going to go and break through it. If it breaks through it, then we've got lots of room to the downside where we could start getting some trades to targets. If it closes, pulls back, this will be the next target. If it closes below this one, pulls back, this will be the next target. And down, and once you get down to that third line, that's usually pretty much near the end of the run. And if it goes deeper, we're starting, then we'll be looking for reversals. But right now, it does have some little bit of punch to the downside, and also we're looking at to see where the strength is of the German 30s. This is the European index, so we'll be looking at trading it, looking to see how strong it is to the euro. And so if I look and see where it is to the euro is strong on the higher time frame. It's pretty much strong for the most part. It's in the upper half of our strength meter. So the euro is a little bit of strength. The stronger the euro is, the more likely the indexes of the currency. Like when the dollar is strong, the U.S. indexes like the Nasdaq and the S&P tend to be a little bit weaker. And same way it goes with the euro. That's just an observation. I don't know if that's how valid that is, but that's what I've been seeing is if the euro is weak, then the index, the German 30, gets to be stronger. And so we go back to here. And so we're looking at trading this to the short side. It's not ready to, it hasn't given us the pull. It did give us a little pullback here, but we weren't in time for that. And so we're just looking to see, we'll go to a lower time frame chart and just blow it up a little bit, put a little bit more of a microscope under it. So right here, this is as low as it's gotten so far. You can see it's just bouncing right off of that. And the spread is probably enough to make that difference. The spread on this is, looks like it's a 50 unit spread, which is quite a bit actually. And so we're looking for the bounce, looking for the pullback in here. So right now I'm looking at the 23. I'm looking at this area right in here. I could make this a little different color, but I don't want to keep changing my colors all the time. So we're looking for a pullback. We'll see on a 5-minute chart right now, the green is, you can see the green moving average is starting to curl a little bit. Excuse me. We can get the price to come up without having this green moving average come up and cross over. If it crosses over, even like on the 1 minute, if it crosses on the 1 minute, then we just wait until it gets done crossing and until it starts curling back around the other way. You see we have the little cross right now. The green crossed over the yellow. This signifies to me that it's in a pullback state. And we're going to see how far it pulls back, see which one of these moving averages it bounced off of that, and then looking to try to get into the trade, maybe to the short side. But you have to make sure you have enough room to cover your spread and to be able to get into it. If it pulls back up to this area, you would probably have about 17 units. And I'm assuming these are probably in euros. Not real sure.
No, well, when we're trading them, yeah, these are euros, but it's still kind of equated to the dollar, the way I figured out the position sizes that we should be using.
All right, good.
Because that's what we're trading in is in dollars, not euros.
Okay, so we're looking at a 15. Right now, this is showing 15,419, I would say, dollars reference to the German 30 index. And in a second, let me get a dog out of the room here.
When you're finished with the German, Philip would like you to have a look at the Kiwi CAD on the 1 hour. It's a counter trend, I think. He said.
Kiwi CAD. Do I even have that one on here? Kiwi. It looks like I might not have that one up. I have to pull that one up. Okay, I can do that. Market watch. And look and see where I can find it. Kiwi CAD yen. I'm just going to load it on the CAD yen. I'll take a look at that one too. Kiwi CAD right here. So click on that. Chart window. Template. Load. And we'll keep an eye on that pullback on that German 30. We'll keep an eye on that one while we're doing this. All right, on my 1 hour chart, nice move down. And right now it's in between this high and this low. Here is the low, here is the high. This one came back down. You have a little bit of a trend line right in here. So I'm going to be using, in fact, we had a little trend. It came back down and it bounced off of this area. So this is the new Fibonacci zone I'm going to be drawing off of this. So I'll draw it from the low to the high. Mark my zones. This is the lower 25%. I'll mark that. And we're going to put it, I'll just take it from right here. Here's the lower 25%. Here's the upper 25%. This is where our target zone, our upper level is going to be. Mark my 38, 50, 61. And now I can take this and redraw. So right now it's bouncing out of the 25%, heading up to the upper 25%. 1 minute buy on the German 30. You just got a 1 minute buy on that. Let me check this one. Right now it's coming up to the 23%. This is the area that I'm looking at trying to take this thing short again. Here's our moving average on the German 30. We just got a 1 minute up arrow. But I'm looking at that as being, I'd much rather see a 5 minute down arrow to head up for this zone. So right now with this nice little, this is starting to develop into a nice little possible trade to the downside. We have all the crosses over. But we're coming up into our target zone to be able to take it short. 200 moving average is still pointing down. Then we're going to have to wait for this green to kind of cross. I'd like to see this green kind of come up and cross over the yellow to the downside and see if we have enough room to make a little bit of a profit off the scalp on that. So we're going to keep an eye on the German 30 while we look at this New Zealand CAD. And you can see it. Here is this is our zones that we're looking at. It's already coming up to the 38%. So this thing's heading up into that area. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. See what we have here. We do have room to the upside to this zone. That's 11 pips. It's not bad. I'm going to change my Fibonacci direction here. Take my fib off and redraw it. And so I'm looking at this move right here. I'm looking for a pullback. It broke out the 23 area, came back up, pulled back, and it closed above, hit this one, pulled back, closed above. Now it's hitting this one. This one is almost to the end of the run. Now the question is, will it go from the 61, this higher pullback will come up here and retag the 78 area. And New Zealand CAD. Let's check and see how strong the New Zealand is. New Zealand is still strong to the CAD. New Zealand is still the strongest currency of all the pairs. The CAD is still weak on the 15 and the 30. It still has room to the upside. I'm still okay with, I would be okay with taking this long if we can get a little pullback. Let me go to a 5-minute chart. It's right up into that zone, which is a little tight, actually. If it can break through this one, then we have room to the upside. I'm going to mark this level right in here and see where that is. I think this is where the 5-minute, the 15-minute zone was. Let's see. Yeah, this is the 15-minute zone. And we come back to the 5-minute chart. You'll see there's another little zone before that. Would have to get through that. Have to get through this little area here, but this is the zone before it gets up to our upper 25%. It still has room to the upside. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback first for a chance to get in. See, it came right on up. It's tagged the line. Wasn't able to get through it. Here's where I'm looking for the pullback to maybe happen. And if it can pull back, I'm looking for the pullback to the 23, somewhere between the 23 and 50 area, which is right where these moving averages are still pointing up. They're still in the proper direction. So I'm just looking for a pullback, maintain the direction, and then going up to retest for the upper move. So I'm going to draw my other zone. I'm going to draw right up in here. Try to pull this back a little bit. So if we can pull back, retest this moving average. You can see this moving average is just barely touching into this zone. So if it pulls back, it could respect this moving average, the arrow moving average, which was respected all the way up on this move. This is not a real, this is a real gradual. You can see the angle on this. You can see the angle on this one versus this. The big difference. And these are the moves that I like to see to catch that retracement up here. Look at the angle of that versus the angle of this move. See how this is so much shallower. I like to see this. If it's going to start to trend, you want to see the sharp move up, pull back, sharp move up, pull back, sharp move up, pull back. This one had a sharp move up, pull back, sharp move up, but now it's just sort of lollygagging its way on up to this area. Once it gets up here, it's liable to pull back pretty hard and then retest it. So we'd be looking at that for the possibility. All right, here's our German 30. You're looking at our pullback right now. Strong move up, pull back. This is a strong move up. You can see the angle on that. I don't think this one's quite done going up yet.
Al?
Yes.
When you have a moment, Valentina would like, it says that there's a bag entry on the 5-minute for the Euro Aussie.
Euro Aussie 5-minute. Euro Aussie bag 5-minute?
5-minute, yeah.
Let's see what we got here. I like this move up. Take this. It's not really a bag because we had, here's the bounce. This is not a bag entry, but it is a entry. It's coming out of the 25%. I want to see, okay, so right now what I'd be looking at on this one, we're looking at, here's the upper 25. Did close out, and that's a nice move down. Here's our first one. Here's our 38. It's going to test that one. Here's the 50. Going to test that one. If we can get a close below the 38. Right now I'm looking, we still have a high. Here's a couple, here's a little, oh, there's some angles on that one. Let me get this one here drawn. Here's our three zones we're looking at. It's got to, I want to see it close and then pull back. Here's our trend. Here's our anchor. Here's a near hit. Here's a near hit. And right now we're coming down into the 38%. You see it bounce right off of that. See if we can come up and retest this. Right now, the zone I'll be looking at on the downside. Let me draw this lower 25 first before I do that. Here's the lower 25. That's going to be the ultimate target of the down move. Now, as this thing comes down, I'd like to see it close below this 38. And then the entry would be on the pullback. I would put it right in this area right in here. So I want to see this price come back up into this zone right in here. This is a nice little down move. Here's a strong move down. It's kind of basing a little bit. It may not go real deep. It may pull back just only to the 23. This one right here, which is about where it is right now. Euro Aussie. Let's check and see where the euro is with the strength. Euro Aussie. They're right, both kind of strong on that. Not real clear direction on it. Aussie strong, Euro's a little bit weaker. Aussie's a little stronger than the euro, so that's good for the down move. And the target would be probably down around, target would probably be around this area, this where this green line is right here. We're getting a little bit of a pullback. Strength to the downside. This one has some possibility. Across the moving average, let's see where moving averages are on this. Should have done this before. This would be the first target right here. How much is that? That's only 5 pips. Could hit that though. Euro New Zealand, 5-minute sell. That means the euro is getting weaker. Let's check the chart here and see what we have. Any 15-minute alerts, nothing 15. There's a 15-minute gold. Let's play this one first. Here's our pullback. Let me draw my zones. 38, 50, 61. Now I can draw this. I'm just going to move it up. I'm going to use the same point on the high side. Here's my upper 25%. Here's my pullback. And we're looking for this area right in here. $38 to pulling back. Moving averages are coming into the right play. As it pulls back, here's our target zone down here. That's almost 15 pips to the downside. Liking that. This is a nice little pullback on this. Now it's coming up to bounce off the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. It's in our little zone right now. And I'd be looking at this as being a retest of this high, lower high. This is how you can narrow it down with these different time frames. A little descending trend line there. Here's the pullback. Here's a bounce. If I can get this green line to hook a little bit, we may have a shot at, we don't want to be trying to go short as this thing's going relatively nice little pullback on here. I'd like to see the candles give it up a little bit here. Let's see how German 30 is doing. See how this one came on up that couldn't cross over the yellow line? Didn't come up all the way, it didn't come up to my target entry though. You know, the euro is getting weaker over here on this pullback. Actually, euro is getting stronger on the pullback, but overall it's a little bit weak. A little bit of a conflict of direction on these two. The fact that this green line held, it didn't get a close below, makes me a little bit apprehensive of taking this thing short. And it didn't get up quite deep enough. Plus, this angle wasn't a real strong move down. This is a nice little pullback into here. See if it comes up and tests this trend line. Whoop. This one might be worth taking short. We have 15 pips, then it's only 5 pips to there. Rats. I'm going to take a shot at this one short. If I take it short, I'll probably maybe do a buy stop or sell stop here with this target stop up here somewhere. That'd be a 9 pip stop. Really 5 pip target, a little tight. I usually like seeing 15. You don't need to take marginal trades. A lot of times you don't take them and they still would have worked out, but you don't know. And it's, you want to try and be consistent. Still haven't got the green crossing the yellow yet. So we're not sure this up move is done yet. I might see it, like to see a bounce off of this trend line right up in here. These are all 1 minute alerts. I'm not too excited about 1 minute alerts.
We have a gold buy signal in the 15-minute.
Gold buy 15. Why
Yeah.
did mine show up? Why did mine not show up with that?
I don't know.
Gold buy. Now let's see. Let's go to the higher time frame and see where our range is. We're right up in a red zone on the higher time frame. Oh boy. Lots of green bars down below. It's not really a bag entry. This was a bag here at the 1858
But
level.
isn't there a little zone? There's a little green zone there that it jumped off of, though, no?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one did. Oh yeah, this is, yeah, that's a bag entry right there.
Little tiny skinny thing.
Let's see is the dollar, where's the dollar right now? Let's see what the dollar is doing. Dollar's weak. That's good for the gold to go up. I think I can take this one. This one's got room to the upside. 5 minute chart, 15 minute, lots of room. I'll take a shot at this one. Go to a 5 minute chart, see if there's any zones anywhere. Nothing. There's ceiling to the upside.
All the MMAs are in the right position.
I like this little move up. Here's a small little pullback. We don't have any targets to the downside drawn, but we're going to take it from here. Had a nice little pullback to the 23%. And so we could be looking at this as our target up here. That's 1876. That's $2. Pull back to the 23. Looking at this is our pullback zone here. We did tag it on this little wick right here. Did tag it. It could come a little bit deeper. I try to keep my stop below this moving average. Let's see where the moving averages are here. They're all in the right direction. That's a good thing. Here's move up. Here's my little wick down to the 23. See if that can keep on holding. When I get a little tight, I'll draw the 23 and the 50 together. Keep my stop down below in this case, the arrow moving average, this blue one, seems to be maintaining the trend. So I'll have my stop down below. I'll probably keep my stop down here right around this area, just to keep it out of harm's way, about 1871. Put my stop at 1871. And my target's going to be up here right around the 1870. I'll go up a little bit higher. We'll go 18. Let's see where that, we'll just adjust these. Oops, target 1891, 1870. Okay, I should be, and I can pull my target down a little bit here. Let's say 1877 for a target. We'll see what that does. I'll keep my stop down below. What's the fact it didn't pull down below the 38? I'll keep my stop. I'll move this thing up to around the 61 area. If it pulls back to 61, it may stop me out, but if it stops me out, it may give me another chance to get back in again. Actually, I'm going to keep it down a little bit lower just to keep it out of the way of this arrow moving average. I'm saying this thing can pull back anywhere into this blue zone. I'm still okay with it.
Now, are you waiting for it to close in that blue zone somewhere? Or it's
Well, I already got into it with this little pullback right in here. And so I'm just, I was maybe a little bit proactive with that one. But basically we had here's the zone, and these little wicks right here pulled down and came back up again. So I'm certainly okay anywhere in the upper half of this blue zone. I'm okay with this falling back still to even tag if it tags. Right now, the green moving average is still kind of going sideways, kind of still pointing up. The yellow one's still pointing up. We have a little bit of a spread issue in here, but the spread's not too bad. We have about $1 spread. It's still showing strength to the upside. Right now, I'm only down 6 pips. It's not too bad. See what our German 30 is doing. What is it doing here? It's trying to go lower. Again, I would like to see this thing break and close. We have this green zone, this pesky green zone here, so I'm not real anxious about that one. Set a Aussie, Euro Aussie, nice pullback. Pull back into our, let's see, where are we at here? Where are my green zones on this? Here's my green zones here. This thing pulled back all the way back up. This one's, I'm glad we didn't get into that one just yet. It's a little stronger pull back up into this, into our 25% zone. Looks like the gold's not doing nicely either. Stronger pullback, tagging the arrow moving average. Let's see where the up move is on this. I'll use this for the up move channel. This was tagging the upper 25%. How are we doing on time here?
We have 20 minutes.
Okay, got 20 minutes, okay. This pullback was a little bit steeper than I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, it did pull back a fair bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I just need to get these lines drawn here. Try this again. Here's my range. Here's my upper 25. Okay, I need to get the other. Need to get these in here. Here's my 61, 50, 38. Here's the low. This is the move up to the 25. I really could just take this thing over, just put it up here at the top and look for the pullbacks. And actually this was, oops. It's hard sometimes on these charts. We had a nice little close up here. Just now it's testing this. Let's see, well, it never really did get a strong pullback, which is to our benefit. Still above all three of these zones. It's still kind of trending here. See where it kind of went flat, and now it's starting to break out to the upside. And I'm gonna switch earbuds here just in case I'm running out of juice. Anybody still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just reading a question.
And how about now? Still hear me? Oop.
Yeah, we
Can you hear me now still?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Test. I think I lost everybody. All right, hang on. Connected, and test. Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you, Al. Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah, now I hear you. Okay, good.
Okay,
All right.
so we continually hear you, but you can't hear us. You keep losing us.
Okay, well, that's good, I guess.
Not really. You keep saying, not when you keep asking the same question. I keep saying, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, well, I said I switched my earpieces so that I have a fresh one in my ear before we run out. So I guess when I can't hear you, then I guess that means I need to switch them out. So,
well, yeah, but I don't know how to tell you other than write it to you.
well, that is part of the problem. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let's see, we're at a 15-minute time frame here. This gold is not making me happy.
Before we go today, too, can you explain how to add the MMAs again? You should maybe do a little video on that and post it somewhere so that we can.
Okay, well, it's easier said than done, but I don't have a video thing to do videos. Brian can do that. I'll talk to Brian and see if he can do that.
Yeah. The question is in the Q&A that they don't know how to add them.
Well, anyways, looking at this thing, it's just going sideways right here. Isn't it a little bit of fairly significant pullback here.
Whoa,
Let's
look
go
at it.
to yeah. No, it's basically it's pulling back to the, here's the high, here's the, this is this last little move up. This is a pretty strong little retracement. But as long as it stays above the 61, I'm okay. I'm going to keep, now this thing could come and tag the 200, which would just barely stop me out. I'm going to move this out. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Just move it down to, I'm going to keep it below here because I still think this thing's in an uptrend. I just want to keep this out of the way. I don't want to get stopped out, and I would be more apt to take another position. But right now, here's our 61% pullback, strong pullback on this. This is one reason I don't like to trade gold sometimes. I thought I'd give it a shot this morning. Insert shapes. This is the area that we're looking at to possible bounce point. Here's our moving average. I want to keep my stop below this moving average here. I'm on a 1 minute chart. Actually, I'm on a 5 minute chart. Let's see what this 1 minute's doing.
Hey, Al,
Yes,
take a look at Bitcoin,
Bitcoin,
5 minute and 15 minute.
Bitcoin, 15 minutes. Pull back. Looks like it. Bitcoin's been having some struggles here these last few days.
I've been trading that, even though it looks like it's a small range. I mean, that's a lot of movement though, price wise.
Yeah. Lots of red, more so than we've seen in a long time here with this.
So on the 15, we have a valid bag entry on the 15 minute, but we usually trade, I as well as all of us usually trade on the 5 minute for crypto, but even the 5 minute chart looks reasonable.
Yeah, bounce arrow will go. See, here's the, trying to figure out where my range is on this. Probably have to go 15 minute. I'll go with this one. We have a little trend line coming up this way. This would be the start of the trend to the upside. Bag entry, lower 25%. This thing has room to the downside too. Probably this thing may come down and tag this. Yeah, I think we could probably take this one short. It's got room to the downside, bag entry. Here's a target.
And also important is if you go to the 5 minute, there's nothing in the way.
So I'm going to take a shot at this one. This looks like a good call there, CB. And my target's going to be probably right around this area. Not every day is profitable.
A little bit of a M maybe forming there.
Yeah. Here's a nice move up. It broke out. It's now starting to cross over these moving averages. I certainly expect it to hit the 61. A lot of spread on that one.
This would have been a great trade if we got in on the downward arrow on the 5 minute there. You can see that if you go to the 5 minute was really nice move. Someone missed that one, but
let's see what it looks like on the 5 minute here. Yeah, that was a nice little back entry there. But right now, this has a strong move down.
if you put in the 200 MA too, there's a good stop loss point with the 200 MA.
Oh yeah, right up here. There's a drop, base drop. It could come back and retest, but let's just see what it does here with the up move here.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it retraces a little bit and get in maybe.
Here's our move. Here's our Fibonacci's. Upper 25. Whoops, wrong one. Insert shapes. Here's the upper 25. Here's the lower 25. 30, 50, 61. Still looking to see if it can come down to the 61. One thing we got to be somewhat careful of, we had this nice drop here with a pullback. So let me draw these other lines first. There's that one. 50. 61. So moving down the right direction. Let's see what their profit is. I'm going to check my profit on this one, deposit currency. That one's just barely breaking even yet. A little bit of a spread. See what happens when it gets down to the 43,761 area. I'll probably use that for my target if it gets down that low.
There's some nice profit right there.
Yeah, it is.
You look back before the money zone over there. It might be bumping up again. Yeah, I think that 61 might be a good spot to.
Yeah, I'll be pulling profits at that point. If it.
Yeah.
One thing when you draw the Fibonacci's, get rid of objects. If you draw this one. We have this little move down with a little retrace. We have the move down, it retraced, and it retraced to the, looks like it retraced to the 38 level, and right now it broke the 38 and it's keeping on going down. So this is a strong, strong move down here. And so once it gets to that green line, I'm going to be pulling this off. So there's one, almost a little bit more. Tag it. I'm going to take that one off.
Nice.
So there's that one. Now we got to go back and deal with our gold trade here. This one came down to the 61. It came down back. This one came back down pretty steep there. A lot steeper than I would have liked it to be, but I did keep it. At least I kept my stop below the 61. As you can see, I just tagged the 61. And I'll see if it's working its way back up again. So we have a little bit of a trend. As creating this, there's the anchor. Here's the hit. It tagged this the 200. It went back down, but now it's starting to, so you can see it's starting to come back up again. So it's probably going to come up and retest. I'm going to make the assumption it's going to retest pretty much right about in this area. You have a little trend coming on down. Here's the top. Here was the first hit coming on down. See where it goes with that. Strong move up, pulled back. There's a little trend line here. It broke that. And now it seems like it's starting to retrace. It came all the way back down to the 61. And if we look at our lower zone, the lower 25%, that's right in this area. Here's our, let's see, here's the move, here's the, mark these, here's the 38. Here's the 50. Here's the 61. Broke the 61, couldn't close below. Now it's working its way back up and see if it can come up to this upper 25%. So see, you can see basically what it's doing is making, here's a low, here's a high, a higher low, a lower high, and right now it's inside this wedge. Now the question is, do I want to keep playing around with this one, or do I want to get out of this thing? Right now we're seeing it's strong move down, pull back. This thing could come back down and retest this lower 25. Let's see what it looks like. That's on the 1 minute chart. Let's see what it looks like on a 5 minute. Still didn't close wick, just wick below the 61. I think this could just be a really strong pullback. It could come back up and make a new high. I'll give us some breathing room on this one. Don't like quite that steep of a retracement, but it is what it is. How's Bitcoin doing? It's see it tagged right here. It's tagged to 61, and it's still sitting there thinking about what it wants to do. That was a nice little trade. Good call there, CB.
Thanks.
Oops. And our time is just about up, I believe.
2 minutes.
So can you quickly just show how you put your
Oh,
MMA?
yeah, thank you for reminding me there, Eva. Yeah, to put the EMAs on, what I'll do is I'll start with a new chart. And what you do is, let me just clean up my chart here. Okay, so I'm going to start with a fresh slate here. Delete that. Delete. 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 Okay, so we have a fresh chart here. This is what the chart looks like when you start. You come over here to insert indicators. From the indicators, you come down here where it says trend. From the trend, slide on over to where it says moving averages. Click on the moving average, and then you set your moving averages. I usually always use the exponential. The period, I use a 200. I use a 62. Now you can change this to a 13, which is the other one I use, 13, and a 5. And I keep my colors relatively stable. So I've got a 5 exponential. I'll make this one green. And I have to make this one a little bit thicker, and I click OK. Come back over to your insert, indicators, trend, moving average. Put my 5, make this a 13. My 13s are yellow. Make it yellow. And make this one a little bit thinner. And click OK. And now you have the 5, the 13. Come over here again. Insert indicators, because it's an indicator. Trend, moving average. And I make this one a 62. Oops. 62. I make my 62 orange. And click OK. And then last but not least, I go to insert, indicator, trend, moving average. And I make this one a 200. Exponential, I make this one purple. I make this one a little bit thicker. It's your choice of how you want to do that. Click OK. And then when you go right click on your charts and you see the indicator list, you'll see they're all right here. Here's the arrow indicator, this is the arrow indicator, and you just add the moving averages. And then if you want to save the template, just go right click, template, save the template. This little box is going to pop up, click OK. Give it a name. I usually call mine the arrow with the 200 to 62 moving average. Click on save. and I want to replace it, I can do that. And there it is. And that's how you do it. And with that, that pretty much ends the session for the day. Thanks everybody for being here. Any other last minute questions before we go? Jackie's probably over there waiting for you in the other room.
Yeah, I don't.
CB, thank you for your help. Eva, thanks again for your help. Thanks everybody for showing up and asking questions. Hopefully, if you're in this gold trade, keep an eye on it. Know what you want, know where your exit points are. I'm still looking at this thing to go up and maybe at least get me back into at least a break even, but we'll see. It's pullback is pretty much over. We'll see if we can come up and retag this. If it can't break through the top of here, I'll just bail on this one. But if it does come back, it pulled all the way back to 61. It does have the potential of ending up to the, this would be the area that I'd be looking at it to be coming into. If it can break through that zero line, this would be the next target area. If it can break through this level right here, this would be the target I'd be looking for. Don't get greedy. No, stay profitable, stay green, and stay healthy, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Tomorrow will be back, I should be back home on my desktop, so I won't have quite the challenge with the charting. But anyway, thanks again for being here, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks, Al.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks.
Thanks, Eva.
One last thing, Aman.
Okay.
Aman, in answer to what you just replied to me, use demo. Don't use real money when you don't know what you're doing yet. Use demo, please.
Yeah, please don't do that. Yeah, do not go into live money until you have your trade plan and you have some consistency.
I've been doing it for 2 years and I'm still using demo right now. So please don't use your money because you're going to lose it.
Work at consistency. If you can be consistent in demo, you can be consistent in live money. If you can't get consistent in demo, you're not going to be consistent in live money when the emotions start playing. So make sure you get the emotions in check. Make sure you can get these drawdowns without getting real emotional involved. You just know where your target is. You know where your bounce points are going to be, and you feel comfortable with that. And then you just go with it. You're going to lose. You're still going to have some losing trades. I do. But hopefully your winning trades will outweigh your losing ones. So with that, take care. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, bye everyone.